And from the ashes, two silhouetted figures. The Knights of the Obscure.
Bum bum bum!
We're back!
It's the time to be back.
Yay! I'm JG, that's Remy. Let's get obscure. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what is episode 40, basically, of Obscurities of the Silver Screen. You thought we were gone, but we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back.
You can't get rid of us no matter how hard you try. Sorry.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm JG, that's Remy, and we are, for the first time, recording a video for an episode. Isn't that awesome?
It's almost like you can touch us.
Please, touch us. Please, touch us.
If you put your finger, like, right here, do it, like, on the count of 3. 1, 2. How's that?
Oh, no, I feel like this is a dangerous thing we're about to beginning. We're about to start by doing videotaping our podcast now. But yeah, we're back. We said we were coming back, and for sure we came back. For a minute, it looked like we were gone forever, and Thomas the Tank Engine was going to be the last movie we ever watched.
Almost killed us.
Thomas almost killed us.
Fucking Alec Baldwin. I hope he's listening to this. That asshole.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so this week, for the return of Obscurities of the Silver Screen, we got a special movie for you by our favorite filmmaker of all time, the greatest to ever exist, Neil Breen, ladies and gentlemen.
Breeny.
I'm wearing my Neil Breen shirt for the event. It says, Breen, just say no to books.
No more books!
No more books! If you've seen Fateful Findings, ladies and gentlemen, that is from the movie Fateful Findings. It's so funny, when people see me wear the shirt, they're like, what do you mean, say no to books? I don't get it. And I'm like, no, it's just, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
JG supports books. Neil Breen does not.
I love reading books. I think everybody should read more books. Neil Breen thinks you should read less books.
No books at all, in fact.
No books at all. No more books.
Yeah, only film, and specifically his films.
We both have our libations for the view. I think
have
mine is alcohol. I don't know if yours does, but mine.
Yeah, this is a cup of gin.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we watched Twisted Pair, which is the 5th theatrical film of Neil Breen. The fact that he's made 5 movies is just fucking amazing.
Will he stop? Nobody knows. Should he stop? Yeah.
No.
I guess you're right.
And he just released at the recording of this episode, he had just released a retrospective of all the movies he's made in his career, and it's like 5 hours long. And
no, so he just played them back to back.
$60. No. It's like a documentary about like how he made his movies, and it's $160 for 5 hours. This is the guy who charges $35 for a DVD coming in a jewel case.
Yeah.
I think more the money is basically because he signs it. He signs the DVD, so that's more, where the money's coming, why it's so expensive.
With his, like, greasy hands. If only he, like, left, like, an imprint of his butt, because he tends to show his butt in every movie.
Oh, he loves showing his ass.
I was so disappointed in this film.
I know! There was
no ass!
All the women were wearing bras in this movie. I mean, it was
There was zero nudity.
Yeah, this is in terms of a Breen movie, when it comes to nudity, it kind of let me down. Just gonna say, right off the bat.
For the record, for those of you who don't know what Neil Breen looks like, do yourself a favor, or don't, but Google yourself an image of Mr. Breen.
Oh, you don't even have to. I will show you what Neil Breen looks like, ladies and gentlemen, right now.
Oh, are you gonna pop it up? Jesus, sweet lord. So that is Neil Breen, and
Breen.
he truly believes that he is like a sexy action hero. And every film,
he thinks he's
every
like
film
a
of
cutting
his,
edge filmmaker.
in every film of his, he decides to like get naked, and not like Magic Mike naked, where it's like, you know, you kind of just show some like man cleavage of the crotch. He just like straight up shows you the back of his balls, and like.
You and I have both seen all but one of his movies now, I think.
Which one? I think I'm
Pass
behind
Through
on
was the only one we haven't seen yet, because we've seen Double Down. We've seen I Am Here, ... now. We've seen Fateful Findings.
It's not even an ellipses. It's just
it's 4
fistful
dots.
Of periods. Yeah.
We've seen Fateful Findings, of course, and now Twisted Pair.
Mm.
And Pass Through is the only one we haven't seen yet. So we may have to do that one at some point. I'm totally for
this
it.
This definitely got me going again.
Absolutely. It made me get a hard on for the Breen.
Yeah. Jump.
Part of my sexual awakening is Neil Breen.
It's okay. That guy, he's confident.
His beautiful glistening ball sack.
Yeah, and like the way that he likes to show his butt to everybody. And that's why I'm so mad that there's no butt.
I do want to quickly shout out another podcast. A podcast that is much more famous than we are. In How Did This Get Made? They watched Fateful Findings recently, relatively a couple months ago, and June Diane Raphael described Neil Breen as having soft curves, and I thought that was the best description of him ever.
He does have soft curves.
He has very soft curves.
Like his body is like a lasagna noodle.
Yeah.
It's like got shape to it, but there's like something kind of wiggly about all of it.
Oh yeah. So let's get into it. Why not?
Let's get obscure.
Let's get obscure, ladies and gentlemen. So Twisted Pair, the 5th film, and I'm pulling up my notes right here, so bear with me. The 5th film of Neil Breen. Twins. Right out of the gate, it's about twins.
The twins' names are Cade and Kale.
Yes.
Kale is like a salad.
Yeah, but he spells it with a C.
Oh, does he? I imagined everything in this movie was with a K for some reason.
No, because at the end of the movie it says like Cade. Also, their last names are Altair. Or Altair.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just as normal as Breen is, so...
Exactly, right? He always comes up with the weirdest... I mean, besides Dylan. But he had Thiel in I think Pass Through, his name's Thiel or whatever. And it's fucking
Thiel.
Stupid. Yeah. Which is light spelled backwards. Or Till. No,
That's
it's
why...
It's called Till. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I've seen like that clip of it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, it's because Neil Breen's so...
He's
up his own butt.
He says, my name is Till. THGIL. And then the lady next to him goes like, she's like what are they called? Yogurt. It's a yogurt. It says like, yo play light on it. And she goes like, wait, your name's not Till, it's Light. LIGHT. It's like, wow, Neil.
That's the amazing thing about all of these films, though, is that every single weird, obscure thing that happens in it, I imagine Neil Breen has some like metaphorical, like God sent reason to do these things.
Like he has
every dumb shit that happens is for a reason.
Yeah,
apparently
he has a specific reason why everything happens in his movies, and we are just the guinea pigs trying to figure it out.
We're just on a ride. We're just joining him through his little Neil Breen tunnel of love for himself.
So we start out, we see these twins as babies, right? Which he totally
no.
He starts in space. That's right.
He opens with just Earth, and it's just like the sun eclipsing, like here's Earth, and then the sun's just like coming up over it, and I'm like,
you know what's funny?
Okay, and then it just cuts to babies, and I'm like, oh, okay.
He clearly got that from like it's like Story Blocks or like Artlist.io. He got it from like some he got stock footage from some site that he bought this from.
There is an amazing amount of footage that is in this movie that is not his, and you can tell.
Like I would say about 30% of this movie is not his.
It's like anytime you see a really good shot, Totally
not
something
him.
he just found online.
Or just,
and then any green screen backdrop was just a Google image that he found.
He uses so much goddamn green screen in this movie.
I started calling it the Breen screen. Excuse me. So it opens with just Earth,
space,
like coming up.
Yeah,
space,
and then we see the babies, these twin babies.
Yeah,
they're kind of cute. Can't lie. They're adorable little babies. You know, they're
just
like eating,
white kids.
Yeah, white. And then we see them grow up. You know, and you just hear Neil Breen like talking over, saying like, you know, my name is Cade, and this is my brother Kale. I miss what I never knew.
And they're on the beach, and he said like, I love the. Yeah, he says. I think I wrote it down here. No, I didn't. But he said that he loves the days spent with his brother and his dog until they were selected, and then just like a blinding light happens, and it's like they got abducted by aliens or some shit.
Dude, there were so many things in this movie that was like, what? That came out of nowhere. Like, and I'm used to that with Neil Breen movies, but this was like on another level of just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I have no idea. Throughout all this, like, I was watching this, and my girlfriend was, like, walking around doing stuff, and she kept checking in. She's like, did you start another movie? And I'm like, no, it's still the same one.
Same movie.
And she's like, then where did this come from? And I'm like, I don't know. I stopped drinking while I was watching this, because I was just like...
I need to understand. What is going on here?
Is this me fucking it up, or is it just this movie? Okay.
All right, let's get
back to the material.
So
they get abducted by a force, and then he says that they got upgraded.
Yeah, because he was already born human, but now he's AI. Like he's some cyborg thing or whatnot. He doesn't understand. I don't think Neil Breen understands what AI is necessarily.
He said the pace of AI grows exponentially fast. He does this thing a lot, and I love it. It's like
AI will reach a level of self-awareness with sensations or something like that. I'm like, what?
With sensations? Yeah. I wrote that down. That's way later. But yeah, he totally says that AI will grow with sensations.
My first few notes are just like lines that I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? I was like, I'm not even writing down the scenes. You know, usually we used to write down like every scene what's going on, but here I was just like, I can't keep up. I need to just write down lines. You know.
So Breen does this thing that's kind of acceptable in cinema when you do like fake sci-fi stuff, where you could just have like a computer and it like does the hologram and you beep bop boop and you like, you know, Minority Report it like away to the side and then you expand something like this, and that's kind of okay in cinema because it's a visual thing. He only does it through audio, and he's explaining it to you, but it's making no sense because he's saying stuff like AI gets sensations.
Breen is all about telling you everything. He doesn't want to show you what happens. He wants to tell you as it is, you know, from his own mouth.
But I don't think he knows anything.
No, he doesn't.
In general,
I think Neil Breen has like reads like one article about every topic ever, and then he's like, I'm an expert. But it's like an article from like a non-reputable source from like a Tumblr post or something like that. He's like, I know what AI is because I read a Reddit on it, you know.
I read a Reddit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I read a Reddit, you know.
Okay, so after he says the pace of AI grows exponentially fast, one of my notes is just straight up, what the fuck is the background during this voiceover? Because it was just like going to random things. I don't even remember what it was. But it's just like
the doctors and like the scientists and whatnot.
And then he goes on to say that essentially he's a cyborg with synthetic brain power. And then the next shot is when it shows like a National Geographic clip of a falcon landing on a stump, and then Breen screens himself into the frame. And for the record, this is Cade, and out of the twins,
good
Cade.
Breen.
And he like comes up, and he like comes up and like puts his arms as if he's like hugging this falcon that's not tangible because it's a green screen. And he says, robots can never come close to the magic of nature.
So that's why he has the falcon,
and
because the falcon reminds him of nature.
Yeah, and like his human side. Because he keeps calling himself a humanoid.
Right. It's like he's an AI humanoid. or humanoid AI, even though he's a human.
With synthetic brain power.
But he's a human because he was born human.
Right.
I don't think he understands what humanoid is. You know, it's like, no, that's like an alien that looks like a human. That's a humanoid, you know,
right.
or humanoid form, you know. God.
Possibly he became a humanoid because he's so altered that he's not human anymore.
Why is he just a cyborg then? You know?
Fuck that, man. He's synthetic brain power.
Synthetic brain power.
Like, that's
Straight
way cooler.
Fact.
Yeah. Straight up fact. And then it cuts to what I think is possibly my favorite moment. I stopped and just laughed for a minute. It cuts to this, like, green screen of, like, a sidewalk. And it's, like, shot from the side, so the sidewalk's coming along like this.
Yes.
And there's, like, he's, like, walking this way, and then the lady is walking this way, and he says...
Good morning.
He
Have
says,
a nice day.
Good morning. Have a good day. And then just walks past her, and that's it.
And then he
launches into the sky.
He CGI flies.
Because I was just like, oh, good morning, have a nice day. And I just paused, it was like...
And,
what?
ladies and gentlemen, it's not like good like it's literally like his body is here and then just goes like up to there, you know.
Yep.
It's so bad and it's so awful, yet it's amazing. It's beautiful to look at.
So when he launches into the sky, what he does is he launches into the building. And what's going on in this apparently, like, everybody on the sidewalk just walking around having a good morning and have a nice day. And then he launches into a window where there's an entire SWAT team. And they're all frozen with their guns, like, looking at the camera.
Because he can freeze time, apparently.
He pops in. I didn't even know that. I thought my computer paused, like, the movie. And then he just, like, walks into the frame all awkwardly because everybody's frozen in green screen. And he says, don't worry, follow me. I'll protect you. And then they, like, start moving again. And then there's all these, like, edited in, like, MS Paint explosions going on.
Yeah. With, like, the same sound effect for every explosion. Just, and then it'll, like, cut off, too. Like,
yeah. But this is all apparently happening on the same building.
Yeah.
That's next to the sidewalk of the woman who just walked by and they said hello.
Have a nice day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows even what the fuck is going on now? Like, I like... So apparently what we can gather is that, like, he is, like top, like, special ops or something like that, you know, where he's just, like,
right.
You know, he's like Dr. Manhattan, you know, where it's like, send him in, you know.
Exactly. The government calls
send him in,
and
you know,
he comes.
And he just cleans up house. He cleans up the mess.
Because immediately after this weird scene that's not explained at all, he's on a plane. He's on, like, a private jet. And it's
the fucking
CG.
Playboy
CG,
girl.
But that's like way. Yes, so it's a green screen of a jet, and he, like, walks in and sits down where a chair should be, and then all of a sudden, like, a sexy girl comes out.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
I do want to note, I did write this down, that when in the building, when he's, like, leading the SWAT team or, like, you know, the SEAL Team 6, whoever the hell they are, you know,
yeah,
we never see the enemy. They're just shooting at just nothing.
That's why, like, I don't know what was happening.
There's no explanation. You know, what I love about Neil Breen so much is that he spends
he tries.
He spends like 20 minutes giving exposition and you're still fucking lost, you know?
Yeah, he talked about AI and that it's gonna have feelings, like, and then all of a sudden this now.
Like, let's say the Russo brothers made this movie, right? They would start out with that scene in the building, you know, where it's like, come on, we'll go get him, you know, just taking down the bad guys, you know, and then it's like, mission accomplished, good job, Cade, and be like, that's right, I'm Cade Altair.
Yeah.
And then he goes to his boss, and the boss is like.
And they would also actually probably show the bad guys. And they would probably
show the bad guys. And they'd be like, you know, just like, you know, normal, you know, your run-of-the-mill Eastern
like
European,
we have a force
you
that
know,
we're fighting
bad
against.
Guys. Yeah.
Sure. They've got, like, masks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
Anything but not showing anything.
So the plane, and then he's on the plane, and he goes back to his boss, right? That's next what happens?
Which is like a knockoff M from
and he says
James Bond.
He says I am unstoppable, and I fully accept these powers.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure,
not
great.
Like you have a fucking choice. Yeah.
Right, well, I mean, he took part in his own transformation, so.
And then he says, he doesn't. Oh, like he's talking. I think it's when he's talking to like the M character, his boss, and she says, and she's like gonna send him on another mission, and she's like, you can't bring a gun, and he says, I don't need a gun. I am the weapon.
I am the weapon.
Which is the single greatest line in cinema history. I am the weapon.
It's a great like action movie line. This is the thing is like Neil Breen is so close to actually making something kind of cool, but he doesn't really understand what he's making, or he understands it so much and doesn't know how to convey it. He doesn't know how to tell us what's going on.
This movie had straight up some like John McClane vibes, some Die Hard vibes in it at times. You know? But it's like, we're getting there, Breen. But it's still bogged down in just bullshit,
When after he says that he is the weapon, she goes like, "Here, take this," and then like a little green screen, of course, effect appears in front of her hand, and it's like a glowy little purple ball, and she says, "This is programmable VR,
the corrupt version
kind." And then, the corrupt version.
Programmable
and hands it to him,
virtual
and he's like,
reality, the corrupt version, as if there's a corrupt.
And this is where Breen gets into like his weird techie AI shit, where he's like, I don't think he quite understands what's happening.
No, he doesn't.
But he's like, oh,
he doesn't know what virtual reality is. Like, he doesn't like. Yes, of course, virtual reality is programmable.
But this is the bad kind.
Of course, virtual reality is programmable. Like, how else are you supposed to like?
That's how it's made.
I love
but this
him.
guy's corrupt.
I just love him, and this is the corrupt version. But like, is it corrupt because like it's a corrupted file, or like like when you like take out the SD card before you actually eject it, and it corrupts the files on it, and you can't access the files anymore, or is it created by corrupt businessmen and governments?
I think it's that. Based on Neil Breen, it's that. Because he's always like taking down the man, and like the government's like got all these dark secrets. So of course the corrupt kind means like it was made by the government, and if you plug it in or whatever, it's gonna corrupt more.
Absolutely. Sure, we'll go with that.
An idea, man. Yeah. Okay. I also just wrote down. I love this weird. Oh, the weird table talk jargon. Do you remember where there's like all these like heads?
Yeah.
It like cuts to like M is there.
And they're all yelling at each other.
Yeah, and one dude's like, "I'm from the head of state," and then another lady is like, "I'm from the Bureau of Investigations," and another guy like puts a thing on the table.
Programmable virtual reality, the corrupt versions.
I'm Homeland Security, and I'm mad. Like, everybody's just stating who they are, and then that's the end of the scene.
Because that's how it works.
Nothing happened.
Well, it's like in Fateful Findings when they go, I'm resigning as president of the bank.
Yeah, the bank. So then it cuts to Cade, and he's like walking late at night near this like, I think it's like by a park or something. He's like walking on like this concrete thing with like a little railing. And there's like a hobo sitting down with plastic rats next to him, so he's homeless.
So he shot this all at a college at night, like Nevada Community College or something, And like I know he probably got like permission to shoot there, but I like to think that he just like
I think he just
broke in and like just started like filming shit, And like he kind of and like that's why he can only bring the camera in because like he does no lighting in this whatsoever. Like it's all natural light and everything, and it's just shitty.
Yeah.
And so like like he just came in there with the camera and the tripod. And it's like, okay, we'll just shoot this now, and then okay, let's go. Shit, security guard, run! Fuck! Okay, go now.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I was thinking about that. There's a scene later, and when we bring that up, I'll mention it, but that's when I like really caught on to Breen's not supposed to be shooting here. Like it's one of those moments where like really clicked. They're like, oh, he's trespassing. So he's trespassing on a college campus, and there's like a hobo.
Yes.
With plastic rats, so you know that he's homeless.
Rubber rats.
And and he bumps into this woman, and she's got papers, and she like drops all of her papers. And instead of being like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, let me pick that up for you, let me help. He immediately starts going, oh, let's go get drinks.
I'll meet you here at 8 o'clock. I'll meet you here at 8 o'clock.
I'll take you out to dinner.
And she's like, no, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'll take you out to dinner.
And he's like, we'll get drinks. we'll get drinks, 8 o'clock, meet me here at 8 o'clock. And she's like, no, leave me alone. And he's like, we'll get drinks at 8 o'clock. And then she leaves, and he turns to the hobo, and he's like, she's gonna meet me here at 8 o'clock.
And then he gives him like a quarter.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite moments of this movie. I'll meet you here at 8 o'clock. Let me buy you a drink. No, leave me alone.
Yeah.
She'll be here at 8 o'clock. And then like 10 minutes later, like then he comes back.
I wrote down literally 1 minute later, because it's not even a cut to a different scene. It just cuts to a different camera of him walking back. Like, there's no in-between this. It's just, I'll meet you here at 8 o'clock. Change the camera angle. And he's, like, walking back up. And he's like, it's 8 o'clock. Where is she?
Yeah. He sees her, and then he follows her.
Yep. Like, to her house.
Fucking follows her to her house.
And the entire time that I'm watching this, he, like, watches her open up the door. And I was like, don't you slink in after her. Don't you do that, Neil Breen. That's not okay, Cade. Don't do that. That's bad.
No.
And he does that. And he goes inside her house. And I hope that you can enlighten me on what the fuck their relationship is. Because after...
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was so fucking confusing. Because I remember... So, like... first of all. So he, like, tries to attack her. And now she's, like, cutting, like, lemons or whatnot. Or onions. I don't know what the fuck she's cutting. But she turns around to attack him. And does not take the knife with her.
Right.
She just... at him, and then they fall onto the couch and they try to fight, and he's like, "You're mine now, you're mine."
Bitch.
And it's like,
he just keeps calling her bitch.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
and it's all voiceover.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, get off of me, stop!" And he's like, "You're mine, you're all mine, bitch."
Oh,
and I'm just like,
and at this point, I'm kind of worried, like, yeah, no, he's like full on about to fucking rape her.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what the hell? And at this point, I was about to be like, okay, Neil Breen, you've lost me. I think you've lost me.
Yeah.
As an audience member, I don't think I can handle. But then she takes a painting.
Yeah.
Smashes it over his head
like a cartoon where his face pops out.
And then he's like, "What's for dinner?" And then
this is what confuses me so much. She says, "Mom says hi," and then they laugh and snuggle.
So I think this is like their role-playing thing, like, they like, ooh, let's...
Okay.
Like, they have, like, a rape fantasies or whatever, so like, ooh...
And also, like, an incest fantasy or something?
Sure, I get... Well, mom says... I think it's like her mom says hi,
Like, he's close with her family.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
It is weird. It is weird terminology. Like, mom says hi. Like, like if my mom said hi to my girlfriend, I would be like, oh, my mom says hi, and she'd be like, oh, cool, awesome, hi,
right.
John's mom, JJ's mom.
Right. You wouldn't say mom's. I mean, I guess you could. Fuck. Okay, because this entire movie, I kept thinking that this was his sister, and it was getting really weird. Like, really
that
weird.
Would be creepy.
That's why, like, the entire movie, I was just like, could you clarify, like, who the fuck you are, lady? Because they don't. It's Neil Breen. Then
we see Evil Breen. Now, we've barely seen Evil Breen in this movie, but we finally see which is like that's kale.
Spoiler alert.
The vegetable.
Yeah.
And he kidnaps these 3 business guys.
Yeah. So he's like beating them up, and then he like pulls out a gun, and then all 3 of them are like, no. And then he
chains them up and they're all bloody and everything.
It's like a fucking he starts playing jigsaw with them.
And then he goes like, this is my form of justice. And then they all proceed to tell him the crimes they've committed.
Yeah.
We've taken advantage of people for years and swindled money out of them. Like you do when you're kidnapped. You just start telling them your crimes. Because that's how...
It's almost as if they're all collectively recollecting what they've done. It's like, oh, we are bad guys. And then one dude is like, well, the money laundering, and then the other guy's like, oh.
It's like, oh, crap.
And the hostage situations. And then the other guy's like, oh, the sex trafficking.
And the swindling, and
yeah.
But this is just like a trope in Neil Breen movies where, like, the bad guys or the corrupt business people and government officials will just say to anyone who wants to hear, yeah, I'm doing this corrupt thing. I'm doing these bad things, instead of like, I don't know, has he seen House of Cards? You try to keep that under the rug.
Right. I'd be like he's cutting off my toes and I'm like, dude, I'm innocent. What the hell are you doing to me? Let me go. I would be like, Oh, that's right, the extortion.
And
Yeah,
then
I
he
guess
goes,
I
and he's holding a gun in this like little chain, like this tiny little, warehouse or whatever, where he's like got him all chained up, and he takes his gun and goes, "Here's a little gift from me to you," and he shoots them in the foot or something.
I think he like got a dude in the shoulder or something. I don't know. He shoots them
weird.
on like a non-vital body part that also seemed to not hurt that bad.
Yeah, because they're like,
yeah, but then they are like passed out.
every
They're just
time
like,
they get shot. First of all, they're like right here, and he's like right here,
Yeah.
and then he just shoots them and they go,
Yeah.
Like he's in close proximity. None of their ears bleed from the close proximity of the gunshot.
Nope.
Breen.
I love
Breen.
it.
He's just he's amazing. A hero for us all. Oh yeah, and then there's the elevator scene where Good Breen and his girlfriend, first they like get in open the elevator door opens, then they bump into each other and they're like, ooh, after you, okay, and then the door closes, and then it's like, shift to a scene to like, the next floor or whatever, and the elevator opens back up, and they're like full on like trying to bang.
Yeah. They're like as the door opens, they realize it, so they like stop fucking for a second, and the door closes. And then Breen puts his hand out like, wait, I was actually trying to get off here.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I'll say that later. Actually, it's not important. It's gonna ruin the ending. So let's see. Yeah, the elevator scene happens. Evil Breen shoot. Oh yes. Evil Breen shoots two druggies. And then he picks up the bullets, and then he places a syringe by them to make it look like they shot up. I'm like, dude, they have bullet wounds in them. They're bleeding out from the bullet wounds. No cop is going to know that. Is going to think that they shot up heroin and died from heroin.
And that's pretty much what happens, because the cop shows up, and he looks at them, and without examining the bodies, he just sees three dudes laying on the ground by the stairs, and he goes, another clean scene. And it's like, what does that mean? There's bullet holes and heroin. Is that a clean scene?
With no gun. So it's like, obviously someone shot them.
It's another clean scene.
I love that part so much. Because it makes no sense.
And then I just wrote down cyber attack and more Breen sci-fi jargon.
I wrote down corporate businessmen, so...
Probably the same thing, where it's just
Oh, and now, there's, this character that pops up who is it's the same actor as one of the businessmen, but now he's wearing a mustache and a fedora.
And his mustache is weird, too. It's it was jarring.
We have to point out, we didn't talk about this. Evil Breen has a fake beard on. So, you know how my beard's real and everything? He's wearing, a spirit gum beard they just, plastered onto his face.
It's really weird. I mean, in fact, if most of you have probably seen me before, I don't know how many of you actually have seen me, but normally I don't have this, devil beard going on. So imagine me as, evil Remy. That's how weird and jarring it is. Because Neil Breen is always that clean-shaven, godlike man that JG just popped up in his background for a minute. So imagine that, but then just fake beard. It's just so, weird to look at.
First time I saw that, though, I laughed so hard because I'm like, that's what they do in children's theater for kids to look like they have beards, you put fake, and it's wow, this is awful. This doesn't look real at all.
I'm surprised that he didn't just smudge on some stubble. That's how low budget he didn't give a shit. Also, something to note that we didn't talk about earlier on when he's explaining how AI is growing exponentially fast or whatever. Both Kale and Cade were abducted by this force that, modified their bodies and made them these weird cyborg alien robot people.
Kale went their separate ways.
Kale was on missions and kept failing because he just sucks. So then they took away his powers. And this was done in a really weird green screen shot. It's like
I didn't know that part. I didn't realize that part. I
Yeah.
thought Kale was just an asshole.
well, yeah, and that's why he lost his powers. But it's done in this really weird green screen shot, and I kept meaning to bring this up so that I could ask you if you knew what the fuck it meant, but apparently you don't, so that's fine.
I don't, because it's the first time I'm hearing about this.
It's a green screen shot of, like, this weird purple forest, and there's 3 oil candles.
The fucking, like, it looks, yeah.
There's 3 oil candles, and one of them fades away when he says Kale was dropped from the missions. So there's, like, 2
Ladies and gentlemen,
ones.
we aren't even halfway through the movie, I just want to say.
Yeah. And so that happened at the beginning, when he was saying that he was abducted and his twin when they were hanging out with the dog on the beach. It's, like, the very first thing that happens. So
Right.
So now Kale is this, like, bad guy, just regular human. And Cade is a super cop, I guess.
Good Breen then takes his lovely girlfriend to a restaurant that is completely empty because he said, I bought out the whole restaurant. But what really is happening here is Neil Breen couldn't afford extras.
Yes, and he went to, like,
look, it's empty. Isn't this just friggin' invincible? And
it's obviously the outside of a cafe on campus.
Yeah.
Like, that's when he snuck onto a college campus at night and nobody's there.
This is The Notebook as directed by Neil Breen. And then
So when he's taking her to this dinner that he just bought out of the restaurant for, he goes, "Here, I got you this."
Yeah.
It's like a weird jar. She goes, "You got me a candle." And then she says, "Eternal and always."
Man, what a man of his generation. So we're just gonna skip ahead to some important stuff here.
That's fine.
Yeah, just because. Let's see. Mustache man on the phone. This is DNA they can't yet identify. No, there's nothing in the international database either. It's a killer with unidentifiable DNA.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell that was in reference to.
And then it cuts to Kale with his tweaker girlfriend.
Yeah, with his druggy girlfriend.
Yeah.
And they fight and they're like, he's like, I don't even want you anymore. I want drugs and money. That's what she tells him.
And when she says that, she slides off the bed off screen. Like, literally, here's my hand, here's her on the bed. And she just goes, "I don't want you anymore." And then leaves.
Nobody slaps her, and it makes a punch sound. You know, she's like, and goes, you know.
That's great.
And then he goes, "We're both fucked up."
And then it cuts to a bowl of diamonds. And they're like cheap fake diamonds. And just like a dude's hand is like rubbing them and like caressing them really creepily.
And his name is Kuz. And he's like evil, head of evil corporation, you know, whatnot.
Yeah.
And he can morph clothes by touching these diamonds. Again, another movie where diamonds are all powerful.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with movies and diamonds. Like Mr. Freeze uses diamonds to make ice. And power jet.
The wizard in Batman and Robin, the cereal. In the cereal, like, he uses diamonds to stop cars and trains and planes.
Yeah, it's like a weird telekinetic thing and like magnets or something.
Just diamonds, dude. They're all.
And this guy touches diamonds and his scarf turns blue.
Yeah.
And, he's got this voice. He's got this god awful voice. It's It's like, you know, on the other end of phones when it's like, who's answer? Like, hello?
Hello, I am Cruz.
Who is this?
Cruz.
But then it cuts to him and he's like not on a phone, and that's just his voice that's like edited to be so deep.
And so then I guess the whole idea is that good Neil Breen, Cade, is going to infiltrate Kuz's business, right? So like the boss, his boss gives him fake identity pages and a passport so that he can and don't take a weapon. But he doesn't need to because he is the weapon. Kuz has a sexy fairy friend.
Right, who just like weirdly teleports.
Just stands
and
there
she's
and teleports.
She's wearing like a Halloween Town, or what do you call that store that pops up every October?
Yeah, just like
Halloween
like,
City or whatever.
Yeah. I know. Spirit Halloween store. Spirit Halloween store. Yeah.
And it's like a cheap little kid's fairy outfit that's too small for like an adult woman
for her big
and of
ass
course
and her big tits.
That's Neil Breen style. So
yeah, it's Neil Breen style, ladies and gentlemen. And Neil Breen, I guess, is like undercover as an art collector.
Yeah, and she's got this special artwork.
And what's hilarious, though, is that, like, Neil Breen is, like, we know that he's undercover, but he has to show the audience that he's, like, processing being undercover. So, like, when he's undercover, like, you know, he does this whole thing where he's like, Like, we know you're pretending, Neil. Just stop.
Right.
Like, that's not what an undercover agent... That's not what a top-flight undercover agent does. James Bond doesn't go into, like, a fucking, casino to play... To, like, pretend to be a card player and just be like, yes, I'm a card player.
Sir, why do you look so suspicious?
Shaking,
a horrible
dead.
poker face. I don't know, maybe that's a fantastic poker face. You just act weird as fuck from the beginning and they won't know what's going on.
Yeah, and then the painting. Like, the fairy lady has the painting, which, I gotta be honest,
is this?
for Neil Breen, this is, for anybody, this is pretty fucking cool.
I
guess.
I thought,
it's a really cool effect, but, like, I didn't understand, like, well, just how, because, like, the painting moves, it's like...
It's a picture
frame. It has a
frame.
life of its own.
It's a picture frame. So she sets it down, and you see like Neil Breen's gut like behind it, and it's like, okay, so it's just an empty picture frame. And then a painting appears inside of it, and it's like this sort of like it's a little bit like Starry Night, like the colors and the way it's done with like oils. And it's like a woman, and she's like moving. She like reaches out, and it's like, oh, and then it goes back to just an empty picture frame.
And then that scene just ends. Like every Neil Breen movie, the scene just ends and the next scene happens, and we just go see, Kale, evil Breen, and his or bearded Breen and his druggy girlfriend just like, doing drugs and yelling at each other, and then we see good Breen and his girlfriend staring at two moons. Did you see that?
I missed that.
Oh, they're like standing on the balcony all lovingly, and there's two friggin' moons.
Is that when they like go on the weird green screen and they're like walking?
It's a weird montage scene,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just missed the two moons, but fuck, that's awesome.
And then Kuz has like these weird cat thingies.
Yeah.
What?
Got, like, so they look like
about?
They look like
these
salt
cat
shakers.
Figurines. Yeah.
It's like something that somebody's grandma who loves cats would have, and there's 3 of them, and they're just like
the
on
musical
his table.
or.
The hell out of here with that shit, John. I'm gonna start an Obscurities rule where we don't talk about that unless we're reviewing it.
Greatest movie of 2019.
I want that booty hole edit though. Okay, moving on. So it's like these three little like ceramic cat figurines, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere for no reason, one just like turns to the other one, and then they move on, and I was like
they have no actual like. There's no point to it.
But that's the thing, is I feel like Neil Breen, with his, like, reasons for every fucking thing in his movies,
he has a reason
he's
for
probably,
it, but just
like,
not...
it symbolizes, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, is probably
right.
what he's thinking, because it's like 3 cats and one turns to the other, so that
but why are they turning that?
No, dude, AI's moving.
He has a reason for it, and it's not coming through.
Now. Yeah.
I
don't know.
Oh, and then the brothers meet up. And they have this heart-to-heart conversation, and Evil Breen goes, I've lost control. Who am I? What am I? What's happened to us?
I want to sit down with Neil Breen for one of his films and be like, pause. Okay, what?
What do you mean?
Just like have him break down every fucking moment for me.
And just sit there and be like, sure, yeah. Okay, yeah, sure.
When he's talking to his brother, he says this, and it spoke to me on, like, a special level. I, like, teared up a little bit. He said, things become real in your mind. Things you couldn't neurally believe. Like, neurally believe. And that was it. Things become real in your mind. Things you couldn't neurally believe. And I, like, paused it, and I was like, It's fucking beautiful, Neil.
That is beautiful. So then, like, Neil Breen is gonna go take down, like, Kuz's operations, I guess. And then we see, like, these Oculus Rift guards. Like, these guards that have, like, Oculus Rift, like,
And they're the ones
goggles.
Is it the ones that are standing or the ones sitting in chairs?
There's one standing.
Okay, yeah.
Which
it's like,
don't show up again.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
but,
he,
I'm like, Neil, I don't think that's how you... I think that's not how you use Oculus Rifts,
I don't know, dude. VR, the corrupt kind.
Oh, what I love about this whole sequence, though, is that, like,
Wait a second! I might be onto something!
That's it. No, what I love about this whole sequence is that, like, Breen is, like, sneaking around this, this building. And he
it's,
has
like, kind of
shoes.
a museum.
But he has squeaky shoes.
Does he? I didn't notice.
Yeah, he does. And he's like... And you're like, dude, what the hell?
And then he also keeps like green screen jumping around for some reason. It's really funny.
He's like a face-to-face with Coos or something like that, right?
Yeah. When he's sneaking around, he passes by these like 4 dudes who are all sitting in chairs. And I called them
squeaking.
I called them the Vegas dance crew because they look like they're all like wearing suits and fedoras, but like not like the cool like fedoras. They're like the milady fedoras, and it's just like they look weird. They look like they're all wearing some outfit and they're about to break out and dance. Like I feel like they're about to like start stripping or something.
Like a Jabberwocky, or
Yeah, exactly. I forgot about those dudes. Like all masks, and there's like a yellow dude and a green dude and a blue dude.
Yeah.
Right.
But Breen has a sit down with Coos, right?
Yeah.
And Coos goes,
I'm in control.
Yeah.
And then Breen goes, you're not in control. And then they just sit there for like 2 minutes. And then Breen gets up, and then Coos disappears.
Yeah, there's like 5 other dudes sitting in this like weird circle. And then Coos says, I won't let you take control. And then they like stare off. And then Coos just like slowly fades away. And then Cade is just standing in an empty room.
And then Kale is back with the bad businessmen, and he
just
shoots
keeps
one
shooting.
in the foot,
He keeps
and he
shooting
punches
his
the other,
hostages.
and he shoots the last in the hand, and then he goes, "You'll all be dead soon." It's like, dude, you've shot each of them like 10 times. I'm pretty sure they bled out already.
But they haven't,
But they haven't, because they're evil businessmen.
And then he goes back after he shoots these dudes again
to his shitty girlfriend.
Yeah, he goes back to his girlfriend to fight with her.
And he takes like these pills and he goes, "These are yours, bitch," and he just throws them at her.
Yeah, and then he goes to
he gets a hooker.
Yeah, is that what that is?
It's a
is
hooker.
That what's happening?
It's a hooker.
Okay.
It's a hooker.
Okay.
It's totally a hooker.
So it goes to like this. It goes to this like trippy dream moment where it's like this red door and it like opens up and then you just see like some woman's butt and she like kind of guides him in.
There's the butt.
Yeah, but she's wearing underwear.
Yeah, you can't tell. It's too dark.
I cranked up.
And then like after that, he like puts a flower down like next to like a bicycle rack.
Yeah, outside.
And like
so he's not inside
anymore. At that point, I'm sitting here going like, okay, Neil Breen probably thinks he's making the next Citizen Kane by doing all these imagery that we have no fucking clue. Like, he thinks everything he's doing is like Rosebud, It's like, this is my Rosebud moment. It's like, no, it's not, because we don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of Citizen Kane, we understood, like, oh, it was the sled,
Sure.
His
Rosebud's
childhood.
the sled.
Yeah.
I don't know
so
anything.
Then we get more CGI explosions in a plant and more CGI flying.
So Cade is finally taking down Coos' operation. So he goes in and like he doesn't really plant bombs. He just starts making explosions happen. And it's really funny because all of these backgrounds and backdrops are green screen. And it's just like if you were to Google image search construction pipes, it'll probably come up with something close to what he's standing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But then he like Super Mario's himself around on all of these pipes, and it's really weird looking because at one point it zooms in, and it's totally just a zoom in on that shot of that pipe, so it's like super pixelated, and then he's just like, and like looks around, and then an explosion happens, and then he's like, oh, and like jumps off of it. So then you see him like down to here,
beautiful.
and it's like.
And then he's drinking the wine with his lady, right?
Right.
And he tells her secrets because he trusts her. And then they get it on. Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
And they don't show it weirdly.
No,
for
but
Breen.
you see them like in bed, like, and they both are like shirtless, and topless. And then, but I'm sitting there going like, I bet he made them both. I bet he made her get naked, and then he was naked too, so they're both naked under the sheets. Because that just sounds like something Neil Breen would do. He does that shit.
Yeah.
And then he has like a weird dream. He's like, because he like wakes up, and he's like, who's there? And then she's like dead asleep. And then okay, so this is what I wrote. And this is literally what I wrote for that scene. Smoke wakes up Breen. Who's there? Wife, dead asleep. Oh, wait, is he dreaming? That's what Julia said. Or did I dream she said that? Oh, wait, he plopped back down on the bed and he dreamed this. She's right.
You and I are taking the same notes, though. That's what's crazy, is like you and I are following this story. Like,
Awesome.
almost
Great.
verbatim. I have, straight up right here, it says, something is in Cade's room, and he knows it, but falls asleep anyways. Because that's what he did. He's like, I guess.
I think he was dreaming.
Also, right before that, I just want to point this out, because I think it's the only other time it happens. Right when he blows up all those pipes and stuff, it cuts to that CG Falcon again. Or CG.
Yes.
Green screen Falcon. And it lands next to him.
Where he's reflecting about his life and everything.
And then he gives it that weird, awkward green screen hug where he can't quite show this arm because then it'll and now it's behind him. So he has to
just goes like.
Yeah. Exactly. So just to say, the Falcon appeared again.
Yeah.
And then so he has that weird nightmare
And then this is the events that happens next. I'm just gonna read what I wrote here.
Okay.
Good Breen walks past a girl and she goes, "Hey you," and he goes, "I have a girlfriend." And then she says, "You shaved." And then he grabs her and says the next greatest line in cinema history, "I never had a beer."
Yeah. And he's pissed about it.
And then she goes, "Wait, do you know Kale?" And then he goes, "That's my brother." She's like, "This is weird. Bye." And she leaves him. And then he goes, "Wait, no, here, let me give you something." And he gives her money. And then his girlfriend sees that, thinking, "Oh shit, he's using a hooker right now."
Right. Because she's straight up it's hilarious too. Because they're talking, and then just in the background, you just straight up see this
Yeah.
And she's just doing this around the corner, and you're just well, okay, you're not being that sneaky.
And then she pays some guy to follow Breen. And this is when shit gets weird, because this is when we find out that she's working for
Oh, I get it.
She's working for Coos.
No, she's not working for Coos. She's working with M. She's working with Cade's company, because M straight up says, for no apparent reason, she was one of them. Now this connects with earlier on with that weird green screen of the forest where there's 3 candles and one burns out. It's Cade and his girlfriend. I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm so confused. So she pays some guy to follow Breen, and then Breen catches him and goes, "You betrayed us! You betrayed us! You betrayed me!" And it's just a close up of Breen going, "You betrayed us!" Like this. It looks like this. I'm gonna go away from the mic and just do this. You betrayed us. You betrayed us. That's what it looks like.
It's actually very accurate. Dude, this fucking movie. It is a trip.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. I kind of want to watch it again tonight.
And then the next thing.
And then the boss tells him, yeah, she's one of them. And then he has to. And then Breen cries in anguish. He drops to the ground. And
No, classic.
It's beautiful.
And then Kate breaks back into Coos's and explodes everything again. He does that again.
He flies past guns and he destroys labs and more CGI flying explosions. And then we cut to Coos's house. Yes. And this is the coolest part of the movie. Because the fairy lady shows up to it's in the screening room, and then on the screen
it's like a movie theater.
It's a scene from Pass Through.
So this movie exists in this world. Neil Breen's films exist.
So my girlfriend Julia has a theory.
Okay.
And I kind of buy this.
Okay.
What if Cade and Kale are the sons of Teal from Pass Through?
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I can play with that, though. I'll play with that.
Yeah.
I'll think about that for a little while.
It's all connected. Breenverse, man. Breenverse. They're all
And,
the next movie, Twisted Pair 2, because there's going to be a Twisted Pair 2. Sorry to give away, but there's going to be a Twisted Pair 2. There absolutely will be.
No.
Yes.
I mean, okay. Sure.
And we're going to see his character from Double Down. We're going to see Dylan from Fateful Findings. We're going to see AI from
The
from
entire
I Am Here
cast is
Now.
going to be played by
Pass
Neil
Through, Pass Through, his character from Pass Through, and then Cade and Kale, all like together, in one.
There was unfortunately I don't quite remember exactly when or why this happened, but it's in my notes right after he did that whole fall asleep weird dream thing where he knew something was in his room but then just fell asleep because fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody he straight up says, "I am here," and I was ready for like now.
Right? Yeah.
So
please say it. Please say it.
They
Please
even
say it. Please
dropped
say it.
the "I am here" in this, which is the title of his other film is "I Am Here Now." Sorry, "I Am Here."
Yeah.
Now. But yeah, so they're dropping his other films in this film.
Oh yeah, they're all connected. They're all connected. Yeah. And they could be totally the sons of Teal and like
I need to watch some of the other ones again.
I need
to
we should just like marathon all 5 of them in a row, just boom 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 boom.
I think I might die if that happens. I think I'm going to come out like 70 pounds lighter and pale and no hair and just like Miley rolls up and she's like, "Honey, are you okay?" And I'm just like, "I am here now,
passing through. I'm twisted."
You and I look identical except I have a fake beard.
And I have long hair. Yeah. And so then Cade's girlfriend tries to shoot him. Right? He comes home to her and she's like, and then he's like turned around and like he slowly pulls out a gun, which I didn't think he needed a gun because he's the weapon. Remember?
Because he's the weapon. Yeah. But
yeah, not this time. But
he's
like slowly pulls out the gun and he turns to her. And they just are like standing literally this close to each other.
Yeah. It's like, wait, look at our. Are we on the same side of our screens? Am I pointing at you right now, or does it look like?
Yeah.
Nice. So it's straight up this.
Yeah, I think. Am I pointing to the left right now?
You're pointing at me. Am I pointing at you? Okay, this is just gonna come off weird. Wherever this
is gonna come out weird no matter what.
We're standing back to back now. Okay.
And
10 paces.
but like. And then she goes, "Are you enjoying this? It was only business." And then he goes, "Only business? I'm so sorry. You're breaking my heart." And then he shoots her and she shoots him, but he's fine because he's a god. And then she dies.
And then it goes to a green screen, really quick,
to the purple area.
Yeah, to the weird purple forest, and it's Cade and Kale, and they kind of cry.
And they go, I'm sorry, I should have been there for you. No, I should have been there for you.
Yeah.
This is where things cut. This is where the movie kind of loses me completely because
it starts jumping with weird green screen. So it goes to
going on.
It goes to the purple forest where the bros are crying. Then it goes immediately to Kale's torture room.
Yeah, and then he serves more justice.
And like bodies start amassing, so you're like, oh shit, he's killing a lot of people.
He's killed a bunch of bad people.
And then it cuts to
Kuz's bloody hand.
Yeah, and he's like caressing so he can change his scarf.
And he's like
dying.
Which, how did he get bloody? Did he just like did he get caught in one of the explosions? I have no idea.
The explosions, yeah.
Wait.
What?
What if Kuz is one of the people that Teal in Pass Through? Because I know a little bit about pass-throughs who know what's going on. Teal like kills 300 million people, all the corrupt people. What if he killed Kuz? Yeah, there's a point where Breen goes, "In human terms, I killed them all."
In human terms, I killed them all?
We'll have to watch Pass Through. We'll have to watch that. So yeah, and then it goes like back to like Purpleville, and Cade meets his girlfriend, and like they have like a heart-to-heart moment, and she's like, "I love you, I'll always love you," and they embrace, and then it's like, but then she disappears. Like, was it a dream? I don't know. I am losing my mind thinking about this though.
And then if you don't mind, can I say like what one of the last lines is?
Yes.
So this is it, guys. The story has wrapped up. We've tied up all the loose ends.
Sure.
We all understand what happened now. And so it's Cade and his girlfriend in the purple green screen forest. and she vanishes. And he's like, please don't go. And she's like, I'm sorry. And then he, like, looks at the camera, and he points to his heart, and he says, I will always be with you. As a little shiny sparkle, like,
well,
ding,
first,
happens
so
over his heart.
Hold on.
Okay. Did something else happen? Did I black out?
Well, because, like, the whole universe just, like, all of a sudden everything's going, like, boop, and, like, in, like, a white dot all of a sudden. Like,
yeah!
Wait. And then he says everyone will live in a virtual universe, a metaverse. And then,
yes!
Like, did he just destroy the universe? And, like, he just Thanos that shit? You know?
I have no
and
idea.
then he goes, and then he says, the whole line he says is, everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone deserves to love and peace. And then he goes, I'll be right here. Stealing it straight from E.T.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's the end of the movie.
And then the credits just roll.
And then it goes, Cade Altair will return.
The best is that it has this amazing, like, end credits scene that is completely pointless. So, like, the second the credits roll and it says, like, will return, then it's basically JG's background that he popped up a second ago.
Yeah.
And by a second ago, I mean at the very beginning of this hour-long podcast. But it's just their faces. It's like that. Okay, so imagine one of them has a fake beard. And that's it. And that's just how the movie ends.
That's how the movie ends. Just, I have no words. It's the greatest movie I've ever seen.
I don't know, man. I'm like, I'm not mad. I don't know what it is. There's something though. There's something that I'm feeling. It's
like,
it's
I
like
feel
when
like...
I think a lot of really good stories, and especially the sci-fi genre, they don't answer everything. That way when the movie's over, you keep thinking about it, and you're like mulling things around in your mind, and you like talk to your buddy, and then you guys both have different theories. The only thing is that these movies don't give you any answers or any kind of like grounding to base any theories off of.
But the thing is, he thinks he's giving you answers, and he's just leaving you with more questions.
I don't know.
It's just so weird, and it's just brilliant. You know? It's, you know, ever since the first time when we, let's see, when did we first watch Fateful Findings? It was like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah. When
we first saw Fateful Findings.
Yeah.
And it was one of the greatest nights ever. I mean, it was just so, we had to like, it took us 3 hours to watch that movie because we had to keep pausing.
Because,
like, wait,
damn, dude. Like, you gotta stop and think about this shit. Again, too many questions, not enough answers.
I will say, I did not stop once watching this movie. I watched it all the way through without stop. I only stopped it once to catch up with notes, but I didn't rewind or anything. I didn't stop to ask questions. I just like, okay, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. I gotta jot this down. But other than that, I just kept watching the movie because it was beautiful.
I took a break. It was because, like, Miley poked her head out because, like, she was in the bedroom. She, like, poked her head out, and I was sitting here, like... and she was just like, Remy? And I'm just like... Then she does, like, a... Remy! And I was like... Oh, God. And I, like, paused it. I, like, got up and just, like, gave her a hug, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Like, I need to leave right now.
Like, and I, like, went outside for a minute and just, like, looked into the sky, and I was just like... And, like, came back inside and watched the rest of the movie.
Oh, man. Well, okay. This is one of the best...
That was a really rough, like, jump back into our show.
Well, because of the movie,
we're hitting hard now. You thought we were getting that kitty shit with that Thomas the Tank Engine. Nah, we're coming back full force. Time has passed. We're getting gritty. I have a weird beard. Like,
I'm growing out. I'm letting the beard grow.
Your beard is great.
Yeah, I'm letting it grow.
Can we talk about our weird beards?
Yeah.
I like your beard. It's not even weird.
It's just a good beard. Really dig your little goatee thing. I kind of like the mustache you got going. It's kind of like this cool, like, you know, kind of like long. Western mustache, you know? I like it. You should grow it out and waxy curl it.
I was thinking about that because see, it like kind of starts doing that thing. We were watching a lot of Tombstone, and I was like looking at Doc Holliday, and I was like, "Did you just say Tombstone is an awful movie?"
Yes.
Tombstone is an awesome movie. Next, you're gonna say you hate Lonesome Dove and that it's too long. Okay, Lonesome Dove is like 12 hours long, so.
Not as long as Neil Breen's retrospective. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for this week's episode of Obscurities of the Silver Screen. I hope you enjoyed our return as much as we have.
I'm sweating so hard.
Me too, man. So let's see what's next on the docket. So we definitely some movies we definitely want to get to. We would definitely want to watch Pass Through.
Yeah.
We definitely
so
want to watch.
Breen.
Yeah, we definitely I think want to go back and watch Wolf Cop, which is the first one before another Wolf Cop.
We got to get our boy back on that.
Yeah, we'll get Ben back for that. We gotta do more Care Bears movies.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun with Care Bears.
I'm
Thomas
down
the Tank
for that.
Engine lost me, but Care Bears
are
weirdly
great.
fun
We gotta
to
get
think
back
about.
on Care Bears, man. And let's see. We also need to do like more than No Retreat, No Surrender movies. I think those are great to watch.
Yeah. Well, I have a small list of fun B action movies.
Yeah. Definitely. We'll get into all that. I
Get
don't know
ready for,
exactly
like-
what.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I don't know exactly what next week's episode will be, but we'll figure it out and let you guys know soon. Any last words, Remy?
Not really. I mean, like, we're kind of coming back in a good way. We've got the YouTube channel going now. Like,
Yeah.
so you can, if you want to watch us. I don't know how I was trying to say that. Watch without watching, because it's on YouTube, which is something that you normally watch, but in this case, you just listen to it.
Yeah.
There's that.
Awesome. Yeah. So there's that. So thanks everybody, our fans from the show beforehand. Thank you for coming back and checking us out here on YouTube now. And for our new fans, thank you for our new fans. I'm
I apologize.
I apologize that this is what you had to come back to or introduced to. God, what a movie. I need to lie down and just process a headache, I think.
I'm gonna like go puke and then stand outside for an hour.
And look at the two moons. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. And hey, remember,
Stay obscure. I love all of you, and thank you for listening. Happy birthday.
Bye.